Have you ever wondered why some things stop, why some things go, why things are so difficult at times, why life never seemed to work out? Maybe that was just me. But I'm here to tell you that everything always works out. And how did I figure that out? Because I hit rock bottom. I literally lost it all. I lost my house, my car, both my cars. I lost my job, everything in the course of a year. But the one thing that I didn't lose was my hope, my dreams, and my goals. It did set me back, and I was outraged. I was outraged with life because I couldn't figure it out. What am I supposed to learn? What am I supposed to do to get myself back together? These are all the questions that I had when I left the hospital in March of 2019. See, I had a stroke, and it was something that I wasn't expecting. It happened at 40 years old. And my life was kind of a mess at that point, but I didn't think too much of it. I had just got my doctorate degree. I had just worked 10 years at a fabulous company. And just like that, it all disappeared. And then I was left with healing from a stroke with my PhD. So a lot of the times it was like, what am I going to do next? What are my next steps? And I realized in life that I had to have a plan. I had to have a plan at every single step of my life in order to get to the next point, to the next goal, to the next dream. But I couldn't see that for a long time. And when I started to see that, that's when I started to heal myself. I healed myself from everything, the trauma that I experienced, the stroke, bad relationships, money blocks, mindset issues. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, mindset. It took me a long time to figure out how to reprogram my subconscious mind. And when I did, my life has been amazing. What happens when you reprogram your subconscious mind? Well, you essentially know and you essentially believe that everything works out, but you have those thoughts in your head sometimes and they just go around and it's just a loop and you get caught in that loop. Sometimes I might be laying in the bed and I just might think about something off and crazy. I put the toilet paper on the roll where it doesn't roll, it rolls over instead of under. Something like that. And my mind will keep going back to that. And it was just little triggers that I had to learn like that. And I had to tell myself, why are you thinking about that? Why are you doing this? Why are you allowing something so simple and so minuscule that you can get up in the morning, fix it the way you want it, and do it? But it's just little mindset things for me that did it. And mindset things when it came to relationships, I would be completely out of sync when it came to talking about my relationship. I wasn't comfortable talking about my relationship. And that's because I held on to a lot of trauma. And the more I continue to work on my mind and my understanding of who I was, the more I felt like you can do this. It takes one day at a time to work on your mindset and get you to the point that you want to be in. And for me, it was gradual. I didn't just wake up and be like, oh, I fixed my mind. Everything is good. I had to tell myself every single day everything always works out, regardless of what it was. If I didn't have the money, if I didn't have something that I was looking for, if I had applied for a job and didn't get the interview or didn't get the job after I interviewed, I had to constantly keep telling myself that everything always works out. And that's the hardest point. That was the hardest point for me in my life as a PhD, as a coach, as a mother, as a sister, as an aunt, all those things. Because once you start to change yourself, you'll start to realize the people around you will start to change. I noticed my nieces changing. I noticed my son changing. And it was just subtle mindset set shifts. And it was just something so simple as pouring love back into myself. That's one mindset shift that I had to really focus on. I had to tell myself that I love myself regardless of where I was in my life. I love myself. And that was very hard at first. Also, telling myself that I can do this regardless of what it was. I would set goals, I'd write them down, and then I'd be shocked they manifested. But eventually I start watching it manifest quickly. And all became because I just made a simple change in my mind by telling myself that everything works out. And I did that with becoming a business owner. I didn't know anything about the systems I needed to use or what it was, but I just kept getting led down the right path in the right directions. And sometimes we are led in the right directions, but we create a mindset of hate going forward every day. And it was like I was talking to a friend, and the friend was like, "Oh, I hate my job and I can't do this." And I was like, "You got to change your mindset. When you change your mindset, you got to tell yourself, I love my job. I love the people I work with. I love it. I love everything about my job. I love getting the car to work. I love going seeing my coworkers. I love that." For over a year, I drove Uber. And one thing that did for me, it taught me humility. And I was in the car with people from all shapes, sizes, races, ethnicities, economic backgrounds, education, everything that you can think of. Children, preteens, you name it, they were getting in the Uber to get to their destination. And I could have said I hated doing this, but I loved it. I loved doing that because it brought me a sense of humility. It brought me a sense of fulfillment. And I would tell myself every day when I get up, I love doing this. And every day when I told myself that, I had no problems with driving Uber. I had no bad customers. I had nobody cuss me out, no horror stories from driving Uber. And people will get in my car and say, "What's your worst customer? What?" And they were looking for that. And I would say, "Unless it's you, I've never had a worst customer." So it's because I trained and conditioned my mind every day to be like, Uber's great. I love it. I enjoy driving Uber. I enjoy my customers. My friends would call and I'd be like, "I'm driving Uber." And I literally loved it. I enjoyed it every single day. And that because I continued to shift my mind every single day into the life that I wanted to live. We live in a life of balancing polarities. So you can balance a positive polarity or a negative polarity, but you can't have hot without cold. So, with that being said, you have to put yourself in the position to know that you are going to achieve what you're looking for. And if I keep thinking that all these rides is going to be bad and I'm dreading it, what do you think is going to happen to me? But on the flip side, I can think that these are going to be great rides and I'm going to meet great people. I'm going to talk to wonderful people every day. I'm going to see people of different shapes, walks of life every day. And I drove the miles around Georgia every single day. I would get up sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning and I would drive until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll pick up rides. Some days I will pick up 25 rides, but never during that time did I allow myself to get frustrated. And then when I felt like something was that would come on, I would shake it off and I would say, that person that was just having a bad day. I would tell that person, I would motivate them in the car. So it was just different things that I could do. But I realized at that time that my life is controlled by me. My mind is controlled by me, not any of the out or surrounding situations. I know that we have bad things happen, but you can speak life into your dreams or your goals or whatever you have right before you get ready to take that step out the door, and everything is going to work out. So, my overall message today for this YouTube video is work on fixing your mindset. If you're a coach like me, or you're aspiring to be a coach, or you are a PhD that is wondering what to do with your PhD after you get it, academia is an option, or I can go in the corporate world, but what if you're burnt out? What if there's nothing that appeals to you? Well, give coaching a try. and figure out what your path is. And no matter what, everything always works out. The path that you're led on right now will get you to the next steps in your life. Try to do some things like meditation. I'll talk about that in some future videos, but there's things that you can do, journaling, you taking a walk, taking a shower, if you like to drive, whatever it is that can bring you peace and calm your mind down so you can focus just on you and know that you are the one that can achieve your dreams. For the longest time, I was looking for someone to validate me, and I realized that the only person that can validate me in my life is me. And the only person that can validate you in your life is you. So keep pushing forward and keep striving for greatness because you made it. You got it. Love your life, love yourself, love your dreams, love your hopes, and fall in love with you because you are the only thing that matters. Thank you.